You think they're gonna curl your hair with a freaking burrito or something?
Ay, vida mía.
Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Before I even get into this video please don't send anybody hate that I mention, which is literally only one person. Don't send anybody hate, please. I'm serious. And I'm not saying this as like a fake, like, oh, don't send anybody hate, but I really hope you do. Like, genuinely, don't send people hate because, like, I know what it's like to have thousands of people come for your dome because you said something controversial or even stupid. It's not a good feeling, even when you're dead ass wrong, even when you're wrong as the day is long. It's not a good feeling. So please don't do that, okay? But I still wanted to have this conversation anyway. So, girls, I was trying to stay out of this lane because I want to rebrand my channel to basically just be strictly business. I want to be mysterious also. I don't want to give my opinion about every little thing I come across, but I came across this video and I literally couldn't not say anything because it is relevant to my industry and some other things as well. I'm not going to include the video clip in this video because I don't want to get a copyright strike because I've gotten copyright strikes from reaction videos that I've done before. So yes, let's get into it now. So girls, today's video is going to be about a YouTuber here called Hrhcollection. If you've never heard of her before, well, her name is Alex and her channel is Hrhcollection. So I actually started following her videos years ago. I believe the first video that I came across of hers, it was just recommended in like my little suggested videos. And the title of the video caught my eye because it was something like, I'm too fat to go to these events. I click on the video and I start watching, and basically it's just this little Orange County, LA blonde girl. She has a jewelry line called Hrhcollection, which is why her channel is named that. But she would spend her days like shopping and traveling or whatever. I feel like she was different from other people that I've come across because of the things that she would say. I feel like would say some things that maybe a lot of us were thinking, such as, do I look fat in this? You know, like a typical beauty guru or whatever isn't going to say that in their video. And she would rant about things that were just such first world problems. But to me, and I believe to a lot of people, it was actually endearing. She would rant about things like, I asked for a small coffee in a medium cup and they did it wrong, and she'd like do a whole rant about this. And to me, I found it kind of like weird but funny at the same time. She had such like a niche, or has such a niche channel, and she does these long form videos where I would just put her videos on and kind of use it, listen to it as like background while I did other things. Yes, I was a long-term stan up until it kind of like faded away, you know? It's not like, it's kind of like a relationship that you might have. It's not like one day you wake up and then you guys just break up or something and you're no longer in love. I mean, in most cases it's not like that. It's just like it's a slow fade. They might start having like these little red flags, but then you kind of brush it off. So you're like, oh, that's a little bit weird, but you like the good things about them. Does that make sense? So I was a long-term fan for like a long time, a long-term stan. I like to say stan. Until I would say around 2020, COVID hit, and I feel like she would talk a lot about people wearing masks and everything like that. And to be honest, like, you guys know me. If you guys have been following me for a long time, you guys know I have a pretty high tolerance for bullshit. And I have a pretty high tolerance for people who have opposing opinions than mine. And I have a pretty open mind when it comes to people expressing how they feel. And to be honest, with the whole COVID and mask thing, I was kind of like, okay, I get it, I guess. Or like, you know, go off. Like, if that's your thing, if it annoys you wearing a mask, because in the beginning of COVID, to be honest, I was like, I'm not going to wear a mask, whatever, in like the first 2 weeks. And after a while, I was like, okay, whatever this is, whatever is happening, whatever you believe, COVID is or was or is, people are dying. Okay, so whether it is like some conspiracy, whether it is put out there by, you know, higher up people, whatever it is, this is actually like killing people. So then I was like, okay, yeah, I should probably wear a mask because like I don't want to die. Like what's it gonna hurt? And then plus I was pregnant at the time with my first baby, so I was like, okay, like I didn't want to die before, but now I really don't want to die, and I don't want to even be sick. Like I don't want to be sick. Period. Like I don't want to get a cold. I don't want to whatever. You guys know me. Like I'm not like super hardcore about a lot of things in that matter. I can kind of let people live their own lives and decide what they want to do. Basically, it's like I'm having trouble finding my words. Around that time, she would just like kind of start to rant about people wearing masks and everything, and da 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 da, and vaccines and blah 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 blah. Blah. And it got to the point where I was like, bitch, I can't even sit and listen to her videos while I wash dishes or fold laundry or something because she would stress me out because she started actually like ranting, like screaming, like loser, dumbass, like, shit like that. And I was like, oh my God, like, this is like a lot for me to handle. It was 2020 ish. I took a little break, but I was still subscribed. And then I heard that she was pregnant. So I was like, oh, let me tap in. Let me check in and see like what her vibes are. This is all my opinion, okay? Obviously. I feel like recently it's like really, really, really bad. So I follow her on YouTube and that's it. Like I don't follow her on social media. I think I used to, but then I actually went to go look this stuff up like on Instagram for myself. But I guess like, her page has been deleted so many times that like I don't follow her anymore just because I think whatever page I used to follow is no longer exists. So I think she's made like a new Instagram, whatever. But somebody sent me, bitch, a clip of her in a car talking about going to get a blow dry, right? And so I'm not going to insert the clip here because, like I said, I don't want to get a copyright strike. But you can find it somewhere. Okay, you can find it somewhere. Just go online somewhere. I'm not gonna give exact quotes, but this is the cliff note of the video, right? This is the gist of it. That she doesn't really like to go to salons because she doesn't like the vibe of salons where, um, the hairdresser vibe. She says she doesn't like the hairdresser vibe. She doesn't like how everybody's like chit chatty and whatever. To be fair, I do understand that a lot of people do find salons either to be intimidating or it's a lot for their. If you're not like the most social person, it can be a lot. From a hairdresser's point of view, we're literally just going there, we're doing our jobs, and like we might talk to people. I mean, actually, every hairdresser is different, but I feel like I could read clients very well, and yes, I do. Most clients like they do want to talk and they do want to chit chat and blah 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 or have like a therapy session. Who knows? But some people, I could just tell that they don't want to talk. And I've done complete services in complete silence, aside from the consultation part, and then the end when it's like, okay, you're all set and you pay and whatever that part. And I don't mind. I don't care. I get it. I get how salons can be kind of like, ugh, if you're not like. I don't know. If you're not just like you just don't prefer salons. So that part, I was like, okay, whatever, fair enough. I get it. Um, However, she was like, yeah, I don't want to go to the hair salon because I don't like the vibe and like the hairdresser vibe. Everybody's chit chatty, blah, 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 blah. And then that she doesn't want to pay like an arm and a leg to get a blowout. And I feel like, okay, fair enough. It's a free market. Spend your money where you want to spend it, okay? Like, or spend it where you can afford, whatever. Like, that's fair enough, okay? I don't judge people for like I do actually, you know what? Yeah, I judge people for when they say like, "Oh, this is too expensive" or "That is too expensive," because then it's like I just feel like, okay, how much? I don't know what salon she's going to, but it's like, how much can a blowout possibly be? Like, probably maybe $85 wherever she would go, maybe $85. Like, probably not more. I mean, maybe if you're going to a salon where you're getting a blowout with like the owner and the master stylist, maybe they're doing their blowouts for like $110 or something, $120, but I just highly doubt that. But it's like, okay, you don't think that your blowout is worth, let's say, $85, but bitch, that wasn't even the part that really like offended me. Part that offended me, or the part that I was just like, she doesn't want to go to her salon, her usual wherever she would have gone, and pay an arm and a leg for a blowout. So she said that she's going to go to a Mexican salon. And again, being the person that I am, like I'm very understanding, flexible, open minded, if you will. I am aware, like, yes, there are salons where it's like, okay, this is like like it could be like a more Mexican leaning salon where there's like a lot of Mexican stylists or a lot of Mexican, specifically if they are specifically Mexican, because who knows, they could be like any other sort of freaking Latin, who knows, or Hispanic or Asian salons, or there are like obviously black salons, like that's like a whole industry, right? So it's like, okay, whatever. But at the same time, she basically said that she's going to go to the Mexican salons so that way she can get a cheap blowout. Okay. The cherry on top was that she's like, but I'm going to bring my own, like, whatever, shampoo and conditioner. She's going to bring her own hair stuff because she's like, because I don't know if I'm going to like the smell of whatever they use. Then she's like, because, like when I've been to Greece and went to a salon, I didn't like the stuff that they use. Like a lot of like international people, I guess, a lot of international people use products that like I don't like the fragrance of it or whatever. And that's a part that really was like, bitch, what the fuck are you talking about? International, bitch. Are you getting on a plane and flying to fucking Mexico to get a blowout? No, you're not. Like you're in America. I'm sure that they have access to fucking the stuff that everybody uses to wash their hair. Like I'm sure they go to freaking Salon Centric or Cosmoprof or freaking Swice or freaking Bassett Salon Solutions, okay, to get their shampoo just like the rest of us bitches, okay? And that part really sent me because it was a very on brand for her latest vibe. Like the funny thing about being a biracial person, and biracial people, like, back me up, okay? My people, you guys have to back me up in the comments. The funny thing about being a biracial person is that you understand certain nuances of both sides of whatever you are. And for myself, being a half white person and half black person, like I do understand dog whistles and shit like that. Like I understand it. Okay, I see it clearly. I hear it clearly, and that kind of stuff. It like the thing, like what she said about like, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna like the stuff that they use because of the smell of it and whatever. It was just very is very Karen. It was very Karen. And that phrase makes me freaking cringe, okay? But it was very that. I can just imagine her going into the salon like, yeah, I have a blowout. You know that she would sit plop down in the chair and then she'd just be like on her phone the whole time. Probably wouldn't even she's probably like, yeah, I want like a blowout that has like a little bend at the end, and then that's it. Like I said, you can be quiet during a service. Like by all means, a lot of people are not talkative, chatty, whatever. I could tell she's the type of client in that type of salon setting, in a Mexican salon, where I know that she is going to treat them as if they're the help. Do you know what I mean? Most people are cool. Like most clients are freaking cool. But then there's that small percentage of people who treat you as if you are the help, as if you're like the little like slave girl. Like I know the vibe, and I was just like, "Oh my gosh, bitch." But that's not even the worst of it. When I watched this clip, I was like, "What in the you don't want to pay your $85 to go sit with the other Newport Nancy's and get your hair blown out. So you're going to go to that Mexican salon, but you're going to be that person that brings their own stuff because you don't know if you're going to like the smell of their stuff because of their international. Like, bitch, what do you think that they're going to wash your hair with? In like Zote, freaking bar soap? Or you think they're going to wash your hair with Foca? You think they're going to curl your hair with a freaking burrito or something? I know how it feels to be on the internet and you say some that like you're talking as if you're just talking between yourself and a friend, and you say some things that like are going to be abrasive to people. Like I get it. I have been on the side where I'm getting like a million DMs or a million whatever comments where people are like, you bitch. So on one hand, I do feel kind of bad. Like I feel bad even uploading this, especially like I said, as somebody who used to enjoy her videos. Yeah, she has always been, very out of touch. I think that was last week, or maybe it was like the week before, a couple days before. And then, like, a couple days later, as I'm still kind of like, as this thing is still in my mind, and I don't mean on my mind, like, oh, I can't go on with my life and my day because freaking Alex said this thing about blowouts and going to a Mexican salon. That was just kind of like, bitch, what the? So she's in my algorithm again now. And last week, I watched her latest video, girl, and she was in essence saying that she went to the mall to get a Jamba Juice, right? Because she's pregnant, she wants a freaking Jamba Juice, whatever. And she's like, I know this is gonna be offensive to some people, but like, why are there groups of developmentally disabled people who like go to the mall and whatever, they're just at the mall. She's like, well, and don't get mad at me because you know it's a tragedy. She's like if I was the owner of the mall, I wouldn't allow that. That's basically loitering. Like they're not there spending money. They're not there shopping and whatever. And just like how old people go to the mall and walk around, whatever. I know the groups that she's talking about because I've seen that before too. Like I've seen like a group. I don't know what it is. Like I don't know if it's a class or I don't know if it's. I'm assuming that it's some sort of like social service or else maybe it's like a special educational class or something, and they're going to like not on like a field trip, but like an excursion. Maybe I mean, I don't think too deeply about it because I just see it and I'm just like, okay, and I move on with my life. I don't have any thoughts about it. I'm just gonna assume that it's some sort of like class or something or social service. She's like, a mall is not a public space, which by the way, bitch, yes it is. A mall is a fucking public space and they're allowed to be there. Okay, and her whole issue was the fact that they're there and that it's depressing for her to see these people just living and existing and um living their lives, I guess. So some people commented saying that, like, I guess, yeah, it is like a social service or whatever, but they go there so that way they can learn social skills or like how to spend money or, things like that, or they have lunch there or whatever. But in any case, bitch, who gives a fuck? She's going off. But like the really sad thing is that she is basically saying like it's a tragedy and like it's depressing that she doesn't want to see them there. Well, first of all, bitch, for somebody who like is so like bougie, why the fuck are you at a mall? A mall is like the most basic place that you can go. So when you go to the mall, like you shouldn't expect, unless you're going to like, I don't freaking know, South Coast Plaza, Fashion Island or something, like it's a freaking mall. Like, yeah, you go there and there's old people like walking around the mall, like who cares? I have a high tolerance for like bullshit. When I was watching this video, I was so like bothered, like I could feel the anger rising in my freaking body, that feeling that I get sometimes when it's like a cartoon, I could feel the freaking steam about to come out of my freaking ears. I couldn't even finish the video. Like I don't know what else the video is about, but I could not even finish it because I was so like disturbed. I was disturbed. That is the word. Anyway, I say all that to say that this whole video, it was supposed to be about like, salon stuff, hairdresser stuff, or related to that. Maybe it's the pregnancy hormones. Maybe that's what it is, because the things that I've witnessed come out of this woman's mouth in the past couple weeks or months are like so damn off the freaking wall, so damn offensive. Bitch, I saw a freaking screenshot. So I don't have Twitter, or I mean, I think I do still have a Twitter page, but I literally have not tweeted in probably 7 years. I don't go on, like, I don't see the point of Twitter. Like after Instagram became a thing, like I just don't see the point of Twitter. I know a lot of people, or X, now it's called X, whatever. But bitch, I saw a screenshot that Alex, I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you, okay? And I saw a tweet, bitch, that she like, I guess like she tweeted like a video of like these gorillas dancing or something like that. And she was like, oh, so that's where twerking came from or something like that. And bitch, I heard that dog whistle loud and clear. Talk about purses and shit like that. Talk about coffee. Talk about like vibes. Okay, I'm getting off the track. But basically just like the fact that like, she's like pregnant right now and she's like gonna be a mom. It's like, oh my gosh, like the fucking audacity of you to like talk about certain groups of people and you're carrying an innocent child in your body and you're basically playing like Russian roulette. Like you don't know how your uh birth is going to be. You don't know how your child is going to be. And like, I hope and pray that her child comes out like perfect and quote unquote normal, like healthy, beautiful, freaking an easy baby, like no complications, whatever. But it's like, bitch, are you serious? I used to be like very hardcore in so many ways. Like I was very freaking tough. I was very like, pick yourself up by the bootstraps and like be tougher, toughen up. A couple things changed my perspective because like I started to like things started to click in my brain. I was like, okay, there are certain groups that are marginalized. And even that word used to freaking make me cringe because I'm like, what? Like, I'm a part of this like supposed marginalized group and I'm not marginalized. Just going down another freaking rabbit hole. But the point is, like, when I became a mother, like, things like all of a sudden, like, it clicked to me. Like, it clicked. It clicked. And the bottom line is that I realized and I felt like everybody is somebody's baby. Everybody was somebody's baby. So, how dare you, bitch, sit up here and say that this person's baby who's at the freaking mall with his freaking, I don't know what that is, like a freaking class or whatever like shouldn't be there because you, bitch, want to freaking walk around with your jaw and slurp on your Jamba Juice without like being bothered in any way. Bothered? Like they're an eyesore basically. How dare you? That's somebody's child. That's somebody's baby. And to call them like tragedies, like that is a tragedy. Like do you are like is your mind so damn small that you can't fathom what an actual tragedy is? How freaking dare you? It's so crazy that like I have to laugh. But you know what? Hopefully, maybe when she has this baby, like it'll hit her and she will like understand. Because isn't that like moms out there, like, don't you feel like you changed? Most people change when they have a baby. Like your maternal, if you have like a freaking ounce of maternal instinct, your maternal instinct kicks in and you just like freaking change. I used to be a tough bitch, okay? I was always empathetic. I was always understanding to a degree, to a freaking degree. And, but like I said, I was also very like tough. Like I had a very like tough exterior. After I had children, I gained so much insight and patience and understanding for other people. I started to feel like everybody is or was somebody's baby. So you should, be compassionate for other people, even if you like cannot relate to them in any way. Like just try your best to have some sort of understanding of other people or who people who come from um different backgrounds than you do, whether it is their race, whether it is their gender, whether it is their socioeconomic status. Have more compassion for people. Like we're all in this together. And plus, like, bitch, you really want to just walk around judging people 24/7 and like being like to the point of being bothered. Like, yeah, I might walk down the street and see somebody who's wearing something or whatever, and I think that it's like a stupid outfit. Yeah, the thought crosses my mind, but I'm not like gonna work myself up and like scream and yell and get like my freaking adrenaline and my freaking what is it, cortisol or cortisone? I forgot. Maybe cortisone. I think is like an anti-itch cream. Well, I'm not gonna get like myself all worked up because somebody did something that I'm like that I think that is stupid while I'm carrying a child and like that adrenaline is just pumping through that child. Like that is crazy to me. Like it's actually freaking disturbing. Like it's truly disturbing. I feel like we're all witnessing or whoever. I mean, this is a very like niche channel, so I'm sure most people don't even know what I'm talking about. Maybe this is like watching a freaking train wreck happen. But you know what? Anyway, I'm gonna freaking wrap this up because I feel like I keep talking and talking and talking. But yeah, I just want to hop in here and talk about that because I was just like really looking at that tripping like, oh my gosh, like I have to freaking like say something. Like if any bitch is gonna say something, it's gonna be me. Okay, this is my opinion. Please do not freaking like go send her hate. Please do not do that. Like let's keep things positive. Like let's have positive vibes. If you guys want to talk shit, fine, talk shit in my comments. Okay, the purpose of this video is not to like send people off to go like talk shit and be out. Okay, like that's like the opposite of like what I freaking want to do. But then I also don't want to not say anything because I feel like that's not good either to just not say anything. But then maybe this is also me struggling with, when I'm like, oh, I want to be mysterious. I want to do this. Like, I just like, I'm not that type of bitch. I have to say something. It's very hard for me to just like, okay, just let it roll off your back. It's very hard for me to do that. Like, whether it's on the internet or whether it's in my real life. Like, I just always have to say something, sometimes to my detriment. But anyway, if you're not subscribed to my channel, then please subscribe. And I meant to say in the beginning of this video that I actually am going to film an easy layered DIY haircut that you can do. It was like the first haircut that I ever learned how to do, and I learned it on my own, bitch. Like, I might have even created this technique that I'm going to show you guys. I might have created this technique. I'm going to show you how I used to do it, and it's going to be like a Y2K layered haircut that I used to do. It was the first haircut, like I said, that I ever did, that I started to do like all my friends and my family when I was literally in middle school. And just recently I started thinking about the haircut again because like these kind of haircuts are back in style. So anyway, yeah, I wanted to film that video, but like I wanted my hair to be down in that video, and I need to wash my hair, and I'm like marinating my hair right now in olive oil so that way I can wash it. So I was like, let me just put my hair up in a bun for this video because this is just gonna be a talking video, but I wanted to also film that video, but I can only do one video at a day at a time. So that video is coming up next. We're gonna be back to our regularly scheduled programming, but this one was more urgent, and then plus I feel like this is a video that I can do like with my hair up in a bun with olive oil in it. If you don't already, then follow me on TikTok or Instagram. Leave me comments down below. Like, let's get the chat going, okay, you guys? And yeah, love you guys. Bye.